It's crazy.
LaDonna's backstage.
What she say? Oh, she is. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't see her. There she is. It's been a long time since we've done this. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Knowledge is Power Podcast Live. We do this every Sundays and Tuesday evening at 7 o'clock. Sometimes we adjust hours for the time. So, welcome to Knowledge is Power Podcast Live. We've been on a 3 weeks hectic uh, vacation break. I lost my
You gotta help him out.
yeah.
It's the
I
new
lost.
year.
Hey, check this out. I lost my Facebook and Instagram page. Hackers got hold to it, but no good. EAS. Anyway, I got hold to my account, and Facebook and Instagram locked me out of my account, so I had to start all over again. So, so if you're on this page, or you watching, or you're listening, even up to my guests, please tag those people and just share our page. Okay, I mean share our podcast. So, with that said, we thank everyone for watching and having time with us. We've got some new things for this year. We've got a whole new third season podcast. So my guest is Francis Larkin, my host, and LaDonna Sherwood Haley is my other host. And then I have the Thursday night roundtable crew, Perry Busby, and Tricia Premo. Hello, guys.
Hi.
Hey, how you
Hi,
guys doing?
hi.
Yeah. Hey, what? Oh, you there? All right. Okay. Hey, so if you're seeing this on your Facebook page, or your Instagram page, or your YouTube page, guys, we're back. Again, I my original old page was hacked and destroyed, so I had to start all over again. We're all new. This is our third season in podcasting. We are, and what we do here, and I'll let my co-host LaDonna tell you guys who's listening or watching what we do here.
Knowledge is Power Podcast Live is a platform to share important information by educating Southeast Texas African American communities with valuable information on health, education, finance, politics, and business. We pride ourselves on keeping our hand on the pulse of this community, and we are going to keep you up to date on what is going on in and around Jefferson County. I'm super excited to be back on tonight. It's been a
Yeah,
while.
yeah, it has been a while. It's been 3 weeks, be exact, 3 weeks. We got asking right now all our guests. I'm sorry, all those who are needing help, small businesses, big businesses, restaurants, stores, service stations. Guys, you're starting your new business. What do you want to do? We want to help you. We want to help you grow your business, be successful in your business as well. Knowledge is Power podcast. We are on all platform, all social platform. We are on Facebook, Spotify, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, Apple, iTunes. Oh, did I say LinkedIn? Yeah, we LinkedIn. We're on those too. Excuse me. So we want you all to understand we're here to help the community, the Southeast Texas community. Now, since I've started a new Facebook page, I picked up quite a few new uh, friends on my page, and that has not been aware of us here at Knowledge is Power Podcast. Every week we have guests, different type of guests. It doesn't matter what type of guest it is. We emphasize on helping our community. I don't know if it's criminal or we're trying to fight for you. You have a racist experience at a business. We like to make sure that we get it out in the street because we're going to be your communication avatars. So with that said, I've got new thing we're going to be doing. We're going to be going live on live events, and we're going to be helping others grow their business. Or we just want to make sure that we are communicating with our our community, our African American community. So I have a new theory we're going to be doing, and I'm going to do it, and we're going to exercise this on live. So this is something that we're going to have now. Every show will have a giveaway. Now it's Power Podcast Live, where we will have a giveaway at the end of the end of each show. It could be a gift card, it could be a T-shirt, coffee mug, caps, hats, whatever it takes. We're going to give something away on each show, and I'm going to show you an example of how it's going to be done. So I'm going to move over here to this computer over here, this screen over here. So I'm going to be sideways a little bit with you guys. So y'all bear with me, and I'm going to show you how our contest is going to be operating. What we want you to do, we want each and every one of you to make a comment in our comment box. If you're commenting on our show, even if it's just hi, hey, we're here to say hello to you guys or whatever. When you comment, your name would go into a hat to a box, and we would draw from this box on live. But make sure how it operates. So just say, for instance, that I'm going to pull it up on the screen. Let's see here. It's up on the screen. Yep. Let me take that. I'm going to take our banner down. Let's take our banner down. Okay. And let's just say that the keyword for tonight's show is hashtag knowledge. So if you're watching and you're listening, go into your comment box and type hashtag knowledge. You see that? And at the end of the show, we're going to draw uh, 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 from this live drawing. So you'll see that we're doing it legit and we're being fair with it. So I'm going to make an example. I am going to type in testing, and I'm going to put it in the chat. And let's see here. Does it show? There we go. Shows that one entry has made in the box. So I'm going to So at the end of the show, we're going to go back to that drawing, and we're going to pull the names out of the hat. And it would. But if you're watching the show or you commenting from a group page, please place your name on it because it would not allow us to see your name, and we want to make sure you get your prize for that particular show. So, Ladonna, would you kind of Yeah, I guess I'm trying to get this right, but I think I got it right this time. Let's see here. Did I put it up back on it? Yeah. Okay. All right. So I've got that. So at the end of the show, we're going to come back and see if we've got any comments. It has to be in the box. You have to text. Now, I'll tell you what I do. I'm going to back that out, and I'm going to put just nothing. Okay, hold on. Y'all laughing at me. Don't be silly with me. Hold on. I'm going to do this. Hold on. Stay with me, y'all. Stay with me. Okay. So I have two drawings. I have two drawings now. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to
Look at Siri.
watch this. Watch this. Wait a minute. Hold on, guys. All right. There we go. Now I'm going to place this on the show. I think I got the wrong one here. Hold on. See the two entries? There's two comments here. Okay. So at the end of the show, we're gonna do the drawing, and it's gonna come like. Let me add another test. Let me put one more in there. That's the two. Okay. So at the end of the show, on each show, we're gonna do a drawing, and so now I've got another test. I put as an example there. Okay. So at the end of the show, this is how it's gonna draw. I would press the button. And there we have it. All right. All right. Okay. So, did you catch that? Did you catch that? All right. So that's why we're going to be doing our giveaways on our podcast. So again, each night we're going to have we have guests on Sundays and then we have Tuesdays. Guys, uh, what do you guys has up going on right now?
I know for a fact, as far as I'm concerned, early voting is going to start pretty soon here in February, with election day being March. Somebody help me. I'm not really certain, but I will be hosting a Meet the Candidate series. The Southeast Texas Young Democrats will be doing sort of a debate forum for candidates that have opponents. Um, and so we're gearing up for the elections that are coming up, if nothing else. And we want to make sure that we're found encouraging people to get vaccinated and to be tested, or whatever combination of things they want to do to help out in the the rise in COVID infections. I'm not really sure, but we do have increased testing and testing facilities. Just trying to make sure that the country doesn't shut down again, hopefully.
Do they have any rapid test available anywhere? Last I heard, it was none available, even at the urgent cares.
Well, I'm not absolutely certain. I was fortunate enough to have bought several tests before I
Yeah,
went to Hawaii, and I have some of those at home testing. But I think at testing facilities, it's taking 2 or 3 days. I'm not
yeah,
sure.
like 72 hours on return.
Yeah,
Yeah, because they are out. Something just came across my news feed that said that no rapid COVID test available. Now I did see some at Sam's last time I went, but that was before Christmas.
right, right, right.
Hmm. So
So
So,
that's I guess we're going to make sure that we get the information out there to our audience that we're going to have location when it's available for testing,
mhm.
COVID testing. I mean, guys, you got to be careful. This COVID is crazy.
Yeah, I
It's
encourage people
mhm,
really to get the PCR test
what
rather
is
than a
Yes,
that?
rapid. That's where it's a 2 day wait for it,
yeah,
but it's
yeah.
more accurate than the
Then a rapid.
oh yeah, and a whole
Hmm.
lot of hospitals don't take them. Like if you're going in for some kind of procedure, they
Hmm.
don't take rapid. You gotta have a PCR.
I
Mm.
think the airlines are the same way. They won't take the
Yeah,
rapid. They want the
a
PCR.
PCR, which is
Yeah,
better really for everybody.
well, what is the
So
difference between a rapid and a CPR?
the
it's
time.
more the testing
The
is
testing?
more
Mm.
thorough. It's more thorough
Okay.
than rapid.
Oh,
Hmm.
okay.
So
Right,
my
because I
wife
think those
just had to
rapids
have
are
one. So
giving false
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 negatives.
negatives.
positive, false
Hmm.
negatives. You
Hmm.
can't go wrong with a PCR. So,
Mm-mm. Well, how
Yep.
are they
but
So
determining the difference between the original COVID-19 and the Omicron?
it's it's
And the
it's,
Delta.
it's kind of
I
tricky.
mean, how do they know?
It's a difference in how they both feel, really. I've had
Mm.
both. I've had both. So, and the newer one is not as bad.
Okay.
It's not.
well, I think that's if you've been vaccinated, right? Or is the new one
Probably.
just less severe, period? Or do we know?
It's not. I haven't been. So it was less than the first one to me. So
Okay, I got you.
yeah, it's not whether you vaccinated or not. Everybody
Yeah.
got their thing. You gotta think like you want. So, but
Hmm.
I can't tell nobody anything. So I
So what
just know
about
what
the
it was for me.
so what about the
Right.
infusion place? I heard that they were booked up and booked out, and they was booked and busy over there. And then at one point I heard that they were out of I guess the medication that they used to infuse.
I think they are now. They're out of it now.
I'm probably out of
Yeah.
it now.
I mean, and
So
I
Yeah.
just think that really, like, social distance and wearing the mask is the most important thing that we can kind of do without just shutting down. Like, I mean, be
Mhm.
found being vigilant and not in people's face, and whatever the case may be with the Omicron, whatever. I think it's
Omarion.
Yeah, girl, I
Omicron.
don't even know. I don't even venture to go there with all of this. But I feel like with that one, what they're saying is it's more contagious. Well, that means hell, we've been 6 feet distance. Do we 12 feet distance? What are we supposed to be doing?
You can do 20-foot distance.
It don't
Or
matter because a
It
lot of
don't
people are not
matter.
sure.
just don't be nowhere except for where
They're
you
not
got.
sure how they're picking it up. I've talked to so many people that have contracted it and they just don't understand where it even came from.
Right.
Well,
I
I
have
work
a cousin that
around
said the
people.
same thing. He was like, I don't go nowhere. I guess I got it at the grocery store. I'm like, what?
That's what most people are saying because you got to go to the grocery store.
I'm
Well, if
sure
it's
mine was from
airborne,
work, so
Right.
I'm
it
Maybe
sure
it
seems like
mine
it
is.
was
would.
from work.
If somebody's breathing on something, or speaking into a microphone, or whatever the case may be, it should be contagious that way too if it's airborne. So you probably don't even have to be near somebody.
That's right.
You
And then
know,
you got to watch your booze and your babes because
and
the
you know
booze
what? I
and
think,
babes, they be out there.
I think I had it. I didn't even know I had it.
I just
About,
said you got to watch your
You
booze
know
and your
when you
babes.
have it.
oh,
You know
really?
when you have
Oh, I
it.
didn't
You
have
Yeah,
it
you
then.
do. Well,
You know.
well, sometimes you don't because it
Oh,
just
you
feels
know.
like it may be some allergy flare up,
And
with
that's
the weather
probably
going
what it
up
is.
and down.
That's
Mm-hmm.
probably what it is.
I have
Allergies,
been
but
so blessed.
I
I
you
haven't
know
had
you.
it. I've been exposed to it. I actually administered a test to one of my coworkers, and it came back positive in my hand. I've been so blessed. I don't know. Maybe I have the natural immunity. I don't know. Knock on wood, but
You just got those good
Yeah, I
genes.
think some of us
I
do
hope this
have
goes
that
away.
though. I think some of us do have. I mean, because I've been in contact too, and I don't. I mean, I have the antibodies, which would allow you to know that you've been, but I haven't had any symptoms to
Sometimes.
suggest to. I mean, I don't know. So some of us, I guess, do have a natural immunity to it,
Yeah.
perhaps. And I mean, they should. I think it should be more study on us. More.
Yes.
Where'd she go?
Where'd she go?
Cool. What happened? Where'd she go?
Well, I know one thing. I've been taking what I call the alphabets. I've been taking vitamins like
C, D.
What's up,
Yeah.
Chris?
And
What's
that's
going
probably
on,
what helped
sis?
me
Hey,
because I've
Good
been
evening,
taking
everybody.
them all my life. So that's probably
Yeah,
what
but you know
helped
what?
me.
I had to. I'm in my mid 30s, so I had to realize, I had to ramp up them
I'm in my early
alphabets.
20s. So
Mid 30s. I'm going on my mid 40s.
I'm in my
Mid 30s ain't
middle
bad.
20s.
What did you
So
run
You in your
off
mid
to?
20s?
Looking like
I see
yeah.
that, Terry.
Yeah.
I had to ramp
Yeah,
up
no,
them alphabets. I need A, D, E, A, B, C, D, E, F, G in my life. I line them up.
let me tell y'all this too. One thing that's going around right now is the 10-year challenge. So y'all seeing that? I
I
must
saw
Oh
say
my
that.
goodness, yes.
some of these people 10 years, honey, let me say the 10 years did y'all some good.
Hey, hey,
Yeah, I saw that.
I just noticed. Hey, LaDonna, how are you? Happy New Year.
What are you talking about, Tony?
I
I was
We've
just
hadn't
been on
seen.
for an
talking.
hour.
We were where?
I was just talking.
I
Yeah.
know, I know. I just noticed
He
that you
wasn't
were here
listening.
with us, and I was.
What the hell wrong with Tony?
Oh my God! It's
Just
a,
three. It's a 3 and
listen,
14. That's all.
Oh, that's
hey,
what it is.
It's a
Mr.
3 and
Roy.
14.
hey, listen. If those again that's listening and just not joining us, we're starting all over again. This is our third season of podcasting on Knowledge is Power Podcast Live. All my software, all of my platforms was hacked and stolen and locked, and I had to start all over again. So we've been off the wave of about 2 weeks, 3 weeks now,
Yeah.
and we're back. And again, let me let you know, we talk about everything. Our main objection, our mission is to make sure that we communicate with our African American um, community in Southeast Texas and in our surrounding area, so we all know what's going on at all times. We have super guests going to be here with us. We're going to have uh, politicians, candidates. We're going to have city workers. We're going to have store owners, business owners. Those who's trying to start a new business, we're going to help you with your financial planning. We're going to talk about credit. We're going to talk about financing. We're going to talk about healthcare. We've got a lot we're going to talk about, and we're going to discuss and make sure you have that information possible. We're also going to discuss what else are we talking about, guys? Because we're going to do a lot this year because now I have new equipment now. that we can go on the scene and do events and do interviews. We can go to you and make an interviews, but also we're going to have one of the biggest first time we're going to have a giveaway. Every show will have a giveaway. We give away business cards, T-shirts, hats, caps, coffee mugs, cars. I mean, I didn't say that. I mean,
You
but
get a card. You get a card.
you
You
get,
get a
everybody
card.
get a damn car.
Yeah,
But anyway, we're
right.
going to be doing a lot this year, and our third season is our third season. And again, we're going to have a winner each and every show. So we're going to go and ask businesses if they like to be a sponsor and sponsor us gifts and cards, gift cards, gifts, discounts, whatever it takes, coupons, whatever it takes to give away to our audience, and we will have a contest at the end of each show. So if you're watching us on YouTube, we're on YouTube. Hit that little red to subscribe button and hit it and click it and let us know that you're here and subscribe to us. And again, we're here every Sunday and every Tuesday evening at 7 p.m. And on Thursday, on our first Thursdays of each month, we have our Thursday round table talk. And that's my round table talk guys right here. Chris Strong, Chris Unc Jones,
Yes, sir.
Terry Roy, and Tricia Kim. They'll usually join us on Thursday. And sometimes they're special guests with me when I
Perry
need.
Busby.
I love
And
having
Terry
you
Busby,
here.
yeah.
I was about to
And I
say,
like that
come on,
we
man. You
invite them
know who
over
the
when
round
we
table
really,
is, man.
yeah, we invite them
Yeah,
in when we,
like Francis said, that's Tony.
yeah. Yeah. But anyway, if you're watching me on my profile page, y'all know I keep it going on that page. You know, I keep it cranked up on that page. But anyway, and on I just started our new podcast page. Not as a podcast live page. It's just built it so you can watch us on that channel too. And I also started building our Black culture page. We have a Black culture page with teachers. It's more of a Black education page. It's gonna that you can also post on as well. You can share and post on your as well. It's going to talk about African American history, Black history, um, things that we did not learn in school. So there's so much education on that page. So that's going to be also that we're going to have as well. But anyway, I thanks everyone for who is watching us and knowing that we're here to help. And you know, those who have already watched us before know that we are here all the time. So with that said, we're going to talk about what the new year brought us and what we're looking for going. I've already talked about what we're going forward. So anything you guys got want to add on?
I don't know. Like I heard y'all talking about, COVID, and I'm kind of glad y'all talking about it because it's the new stigma in the African American community. It's the new stigma in the community, period. So, and I do want to point out that I'm seriously disappointed in medical professionals who allow, I guess, our politicians to politicize this disease, this and the pandemic. And I've been hearing over the last, I want to say maybe week and a half, maybe even 2 weeks, you know, individuals on, syndicated television shows, on different podcasts, um, on other social media platforms, i.e., Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, however, whoever. But I've been noticing that these individuals are creating creating division and separation within the not just the communities, but across the nation as a whole. And what I'm talking about is how they um, divide, and it's to me it's like an intentional divide where they come out and say that the vaccinated and the non-vaccinated communities, it's like they're pitting those two individuals, or that those individuals within the population against each other. And we on the ground, excuse me, we on the ground have, at least I hope, some common knowledge about what's actually going on, to a point to where we know that it's not solely on the non-vaccinated community of why a pandemic is sweeping across the world. I didn't say an epidemic that's localized to Texas or in any one particular place. I'm talking about a global pandemic, and they are literally pitting individuals who choose not to get vaccinated, who choose not to get, boosted over and over and over again on the spread of this disease and the mutation of this disease. Um, I'm not sure if everybody's aware of other diseases that has been, categorized in a pandemic fashion, like spinal meningitis, like, and I'm not gonna go to the ones that they throw out at us because we hear them so much. And I want to talk about things that are still around and affecting us right alongside COVID. So like, and we can't say that, it's the non-vaccinated population that still holds accreditation, or still is the reason that spinal meningitis spreads across this globe. So I, for one, want to ask politicians and individuals of grand media personas, CNN, MSNBC, C-SPAN. I mean, like, stop saying that the non-vaccinated population is the reason for the spread of coronavirus in any fashion, whether it's dealt from alpha to omicron. Stop saying that it's those individuals, because we on the ground again see that people that have had vaccinations and boosters are either spreading it amongst their families who have never tested positive until they got a booster and or got a vaccine. We again see on the ground where there's individuals who have gotten both shots, or the one shot plus the boosters. They have become extremely ill, again, have to, separate themselves from the grander or greater community because, they are permeating their vaccine. So, I mean, like, we just really want people to be cognizant and be patient and learn and be safe at the same time, but don't be judgmental, because CDC, the World Health Organization, from America to New Zealand, everybody is still learning about coronavirus. Yeah, we're almost 3 years in on this thing, and we're still learning new things every day. So I'm gonna say it again. Stop saying that it is the non-vaccinated community that is spreading coronavirus and the reason that it mutates, because that is not the case. That is false. That is not real. That is not true. So stop saying that. And yeah, I'm off my soapbox on that, especially when it
I'm
comes
just
to
at a place where I
coronavirus.
feel like coronavirus needs to go. We need to get
Yes.
together and like just totally disband this whole thing. I'm so over it. Like I don't want to hear another thing about it. I'm at a place where I just feel like
I don't
OM.
never talk about it.
I
I don't
think a
Man,
never.
lot of it
This
is
the
if we
first time
just
I
quit
ever talked
talking
about
about
it.
it.
So I
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
never
just
talk
over
about it.
it. I'm just over
Yeah.
it. Like I'm totally over it. So in order to
Yep.
switch gears, listen, I've been worried about the prosecution. Oh, I forget if it was the prosecution, the defense. I'm not sure. The lady that said Ahmaud Arbery had long, dirty toenails. Can we discuss this? I am so glad that those people were sentenced to. I mean, can we talk about
Oh,
this? I'm so glad that they got life in prison without the possibility of parole
That
because
was
I'm trying to
horrible.
figure out what the long, dirty toenails had to do with the man getting shot. Please, can somebody help me? Let's discuss it right now.
That was awful.
I can't even give that no
That's
energy.
kind of the world we living in right now.
I'm like,
And
what?
it's
Mm.
2022. I
Hey,
just
man.
didn't.
2022.
I
We
could not understand why that was
Hey, when I
relevant.
saw that,
She just wanted some
LaDonna, I
attention.
promise to God, sis, when I saw that, I was like,
She just
wait,
wanted some
bitch,
attention.
what? And excuse my vernacular. I was like, wait, what? I'm, wait, what? I mean, look,
mm.
She wanted some
how,
fight.
I mean,
what,
I was just wondering is anybody else as appalled as I am? I mean, not
I
just that
was,
Yes.
that's the world that we
I
live
was
in,
not
but to
appalled. I
be
was
in
not appalled.
2022 and still be listening to things like this. This
I
is a human
mean,
being. We are beyond that. This ain't slavery days. This ain't Jim Crow. We not. I mean, I don't understand how that jargon finds its way into the courthouse in 2022. No, I'm not.
Mm.
I'm not compelled to believe something is wrong with that.
So his
well,
toenails were not manicured. So what was the context around that? What was the conversation
He
leading?
couldn't be
any,
a victim. We was making him into a victim, but he
yeah,
couldn't be a
I was
victim
about to
because he
say,
had
any
on his
way
khaki shorts
to,
with no socks and his toenails was long and
right.
dirty.
Right.
Yep.
Any way to
He just
make
wanted
an
some hype.
individual, especially an indigenous individual, black, brown, I mean, like, yeah, African American, however you want to categorize us,
Mm.
we are not to be of, of human descent. We're not to be, you know, shown empathy or sympathy in any facet, whether we were murdered, whether we were drugged behind a truck, whether we were hung from a tree, whether we were burned on a telephone pole. Come on, man. And I understand, LaDonna, we are sick of it. We are past that. But at the same time, just as we are past it, there are a whole bunch of other individuals, and I call them counterparts, that are they live in that. That's their truth. That's their life. That's their
That's
way
who
of
they
life.
are.
You know what I'm saying? And they have no other thought process, period, with the exception of becoming uh, the top tier individual, and they could live some of the most piss poor lives.
It's almost like misery loves company. Like they want to be there in that, and it's
It's even
disgusting.
greater than that, though, Queen. I mean, like, it's bigger than that. You understand that? Like, this this is this is like a mental illness or an identity that people don't want to show. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember watching The Mask when I was younger, and probably even older too, because I like it. But there was one thing that this man said. He said, "We all wear masks, metaphorically speaking," and that stood out to me out of like the whole movie. And I understand it was funny if y'all paid attention to it, but
Mm-hmm.
like out of the whole entire movie, that made sense to me because there are I'm gonna say my counterparts that will mask themselves just to fit in a particular situation, to glean information about me or to put a stumbling block in my way. And not me, my eye in particular, but metaphorically speaking. So like these individuals that wears these masks, I mean, like, when they pull them off, whenever they get back into the safe place, I mean, they pull off their mask and they feed that same vile information and sentiment, and they build on people's novices of especially like supremacy.
Speaking
I
of
mean,
that,
so
did
like,
anybody? I don't mean to cut you off, but speaking of that, so that did anybody see the crap that was coming out of Fox on the January 6th day, like on the anniversary of January 6th. Did anybody watch Fox? Like they was cussing and carrying on, and they was having a meltdown.
I mean, that's a,
It's
fear
Fox.
tactic is one of the greatest. Fear tactics is one of the greatest measures in war. I promise God, like I'm glad I'm a veteran because like I
I
see
mean,
like
I know that
I s-
January 6th happened. I know why it
yeah,
happened. I know what took
yeah,
place, and all of that's
yeah,
fine. But if
right.
you just kind of like disagree with what actually happened or whatever the case may
I
be,
do. I totally
understand.
100%.
I was trying to understand why they were angry. Like, what are you angry about? I
Well,
didn't
they're
understand
angry. What
the
they're
anger that was
angry about
coming out of
is they're
the
angry
day,
at
like the
to me
anniversary
especially.
yeah, I didn't
Yeah,
understand the
they're
anger.
angry at the exposure of how asinine. And I'm trying to use some of the best vocab I could possibly think of to talk about my counterparts. You know, they try to soften some of the most treasonous shit that you could be
For real though,
you
if
could
any
be
other group in the United
yeah,
States would have
yeah,
went
man,
there
like
with guns and
yeah,
spears and wanted to hang somebody,
yeah,
that would not go down.
that's some. I mean, like, just think about it. If not the shoe was on the other foot, but just recently, there were individuals who, and some of these individuals were of African American or indigenous descent, and they burned a dollar store, maybe a Walgreens, maybe some other stuff, years back. Just think years back, just reflect. I mean, like, you know, just reflect on some of the riots that we've seen that led up to the Black Lives Matter movement. Just leading up to that movement, the creation of that movement. I mean, these individuals are convicted for destroying private property. Okay, so these individuals are being like snailed in the courthouse, in the courts, I'd say, or in the process thereof for conviction in trying to overthrow a republic. I don't care the process of how we elect individuals. This country is a republic, period, 100%, period. And the values and founding craft making of this incorporated republic. I mean, you have to understand whether or not we are a part of the grander scheme of things. And if we are, we were supposed to maintain our superiority, especially as indigenous people. You're
Hey,
supposed to always know who you are,
that
especially as
not to
indigenous
cut you off,
people.
Chris. Not to cut you off, Chris. But also, did you read or hear about? They do not want to uh, teach this lesson in school about what happened on January the 6th
Well, of course, Tony. I mean, like they don't even want the teachers to,
to talk about it,
teach
discuss it.
about the
Yeah,
KKKs in this
they want
country.
you to. They want them
They
to
don't
tell.
want them to talk about, the because if you talk about the KKK, you will also have to talk about Mega Evers. You'd have to talk about individuals that we don't, like you say, that some of these individuals that we try to exploit and have the diaspora to be captivated about um aren't exploited like that. I mean, like those some of these individuals are intentionally hidden um out of history because and we can't always say it's white. That's why I say my counterpart. I mean, like your counterpart is always against you, and most of the times, especially in this diaspora, I see a whole bunch of me's that people that look like me that's against me. You know what I'm saying? As I elevate myself, I still see individuals that look like me, that resemble my skin, that's against me, you know. So I mean, I still have. That's why I say my counterpart. I don't always say white people or you know Iranian people or Asian people. No, no.
Yeah, our
I say my
counterpart.
counterpart.
Our counterpart. Well, hello, Perry
Yeah,
Busby. How are you, sir?
big bro, what's
How
going
you
on, man?
doing?
All
How you
right, all
doing?
right, all right.
Now, enjoying this conversation.
Yeah.
Cause all I got in 22 is questions. I don't
Oh,
have any answers. I just got a bunch of questions,
questions. Yeah. Ah,
Man.
and they need some answers.
Yeah,
And I got to start with some questions I got to ask myself
right, right.
before I go to anybody else. And
I gotta
so,
find out the answer again before I can find out from somebody else.
you know, you know, and
Mess
you
around
know,
and start asking questions and be receptive to what they talk about and take it on. It ain't even for you.
yeah. No, but I mean, because we got some serious questions, y'all.
Yeah, man.
We in the here in Florida, we are in the middle of, in fact, Tuesday they will have is the general election for the late Alcee Hastings seat. So early voting started on New Year's Day.
What?
Yeah, I mean, because again, we got DeSantis, and again, if you know your counterpart, uh, they deliberately put this in a period where they knew that they would get the least response from voters.
hey, speaking of that, wait a minute. I got to cut you off, Perry. Your group that podcast on Thursdays.
Yeah.
Bring them on our show Tuesday. We like to gang up on y'all.
Yeah, we had before the end of the year last year, we had Super T to join us.
And I got sidetracked because all my equipment was as I was on the air just before it was just before Christmas, sometimes some days before Christmas. I was on the air with Perry and his podcast group in Florida, and all
Wait, they
my
didn't invite me on, Tony. Why they talking to me?
hey, all my at the moment I was talking. I don't know. I was getting hacked on my pages, on all my social media page at the time, and I got sidetracked. I didn't know it. So anyway,
Yeah,
I'm
but
back.
no, we had them on to talk about the about KJ
Yeah.
and Roy Brown, but we also mentioned knowledge is power, and I think that again is one of the things that I want to do with intention, and that is when we have broadcasts like this, as much as we focus on the local, we're only as good as the information we get, and that information sometimes is outside. And I'm telling you, everything that we talk about here in Knowledge is Power, I can find right here in Broward County, Florida. So all of that about sides and all of that. So what's the one common denominator? It's us.
Yes.
And we ended last year by saying, you know what? Before we do anything in 22, we all need to at least take time to heal. Whatever that healing is for you, we need you to take that time. We all need to take that time.
Yeah.
But then we got to be about the business of planning, strategizing, implementing, because we up against, while we talking about January 6th, I read an article the other day that asked, is America going back to slavery?
You know, when I say that slavery is but a measure on the ballot, I feel like people take my information lightly.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like they're not hearing me. They don't hear
Right.
that it was just something that was written in. It could be written out.
But here's the issue. But here's the issue. We really don't have an understanding of what true slavery was. We have this Hollywood, whatever Negro thinks slavery is.
Right.
And then, because you have to understand, going into Reconstruction,
The economic
they
part
didn't
of it.
know they was heading back into something. I mean, it it happens. And so us in the middle of this,
Yeah.
we've
Yeah.
got to understand that it's not turning. It has turned
Yeah.
even more
Yeah.
Yes.
because it was
And
never straight.
Right.
and I don't think people get the economic principle and power behind what slavery was. It was an economics thing, baby. When you thinking about money and you talking about fortune and riches and power, slavery was a tool to promote an agenda. I mean, a economic way of life, a system that needed to be fueled by that particular thing. So if it comes to a point where economically it's beneficial, it could become a thing, right? Because that was the most important part of it, was about the the you got to follow the dollars to really get down to the bottom of what was happening.
Okay. Well, okay, and that's what I'm saying. If we take into account everything that we've done, all of it, it has only gotten us to this point. So then the question is, what is the next steps? We can't keep going back to old steps because old steps is what got us here.
Right. Absolutely. I totally agree.
So we've got to start more forward thinking about this. I say even to the point where, and I know it won't happen in my lifetime, but I think Negroes in America need to at least think about their future beyond these 48 contiguous states.
I totally concur.
I mean, it's only so much.
Even if it's an economic move, but I totally concur.
I mean, I'm just saying from a practical sense, the women on this panel can say, I don't care how well he treats you. If I feel like I'm fighting for my voice and my freedom, I'm out of here.
This is a real statement. This is a real statement. This is a real statement. I think, I mean, I could say something right here because I'm on marriage number 3. I feel like
No, I'm number 4.
I could say something right here, but that's a real thing. What you said is the real thing.
Right. And so we got to at least come to that point, because if not, then we are in a battered relationship.
Yeah.
That's only going to give so much.
Yeah.
And I don't care how much, and I don't care how much Momo say, get on your knees. God ain't getting with you till you stand on your feet.
And you know,
make a step.
I feel like
That sounds like Rev right there.
no matter what, when you reach a point where you realize this is no longer, you can't do any more, you can't put nothing else into it, like literally,
Right.
you have nothing left to donate to this cause, and you come to that place where I'm in abusive battered. I mean,
I'm in
women
the
reach a
bind,
point.
Nate. You too many binds.
Yeah.
Once
I
you
mean,
reach that resolve that I can no longer support this.
Yeah.
This can no longer be, then you get to a different place.
Right. And see, on the other side, it's just as much combustible, because I'm taking Chris' leadership. I'm not saying whites. I'm not even saying. I will say Republicans have allowed themselves to lie to people, and that continuous lie has now enraged people, because you can't keep lying. I mean, you know, we done all been there.
Mad, LaDonna. That's why.
That's why they're mad, because they keep lying after
they
they
targeted the Cheneys. The Cheneys were the only ones to go to the memorial or whatever.
And don't think that wasn't sending no signal.
And let me tell you,
Dick Cheney showing up was sending a signal.
Let me tell you, they mad at them people. They brought up Liz Cheney name so much time on Fox the other night. They said they put asterisks and stars next to her name, crossed her out, put little stamps on her, everything. They was mad.
Well, okay. Well, you know what? At least they did something. Negroes ain't done shit. They ain't put up 1 star, 2 star.
X or check.
Talk. Go ahead, talk.
So That's my question. I'm coming in 2022 with questions.
With a bunch of questions, and I can understand why a lot of us go with the flow, because we watching this shit play out, and the whole time that it's playing out, it's hitting the fan, whether we participate or not.
But it doesn't excuse us from not having a plan.
I totally agree.
Because I'm telling you, I'm hearing well-intended Negroes saying, man, I don't know if I can do this anymore. And it's showing in this election.
It's gonna be, you know, I say this sometimes. You have people that are too nice and too passive and too understanding and too want to support the group and want to go along to get along and want to, at some point with these people, the Republican Party has been hijacked. So they're not the principal party that they used to be. They used to
what
be
happened to what? Okay, then who hijacked
they used
Negro
to have
politics?
The moral high ground. They used to be able to use religion and politics and say we're that's gone. Okay,
but who hijacked ours? Who hijacked ours?
And that's my point.
Counterpart.
My point is, until
we got to call them out. No, they had help on the inside.
Yes.
Until we
let's quit dancing around it. They had help.
Until we get a ratchet group that's gonna stand up and say no. This is a no.
But that's not gonna matter though.
Well, what Perry's saying is not Terry. What Perry's saying is that they had inside help from the Congress, from the GOP.
That's like
they went through the day before they went and toured the place, and they showed them where everyone office were, where they usually be at certain time. So it was an inside job as well. Help.
And that's what I'm saying. They at least playing.
Got sketches of interior.
We can't even plan and put our whole base in office.
Nope. And
this isn't big. And the thing is, it isn't big.
Individuals from your base gonna end up becoming bought, and everybody else that's bought gonna end up on your ticket. Y'all better pay attention.
That's my point. We need a group of people that ain't.
The whole time you sitting up here creating a base, you have a shadow government or the powers that be that's controlling and buying boxes. Pay attention to who buying these boxes. And when people be like, well, who is the shadow government? Man, stop playing. Y'all know y'all see these people naming lights.
We're getting the wrong. We're getting the wrong people elected. That's what we do.
Well,
that's my point. And then some of it is a fear thing. Oh, we scared of certain people because they look a certain way or they don't look a certain way. Hell, that might be the person, because the people you looking at might be, like you say, bought and paid for. The people you looking at might not be the right group.
Bought and paid for. I promise. The shining one, 9 times out of 10, the shining one is always bought and paid for. The one that you see being endorsed by organizations, you know damn well that ain't on your side. That's the ones that's bought and paid for. You better recognize the signs, because they playing them on you over and over again.
But I think one of the
telling Perry, it's over 56% black population per capita here in Beaumont. So that means per capita you have more black people per capita in Beaumont than you do in Houston, than you do in Austin. So when shit crumbles, it's not on your counterpart, it's on you. Populace who allows these things to happen. Again, you are the populace. You are the populace. Black people control the population of Beaumont as well as the per capita. How is it per capita you have no control, no power, no strength?
Well, you know why, Chris? It's because I'm not saying everybody in Beaumont, but I would say maybe 90% of people in Beaumont have a slave mentality in their mind. 90%.
And Dust
that's
goes.
That's just my opinion. That's just the truth.
No, you're right. But see, and Dust goes to the heart of why we're here. I was reading.
We may be amongst the 10% that
Come on,
don't.
drink to it. Drink to
But
that.
I'm just being
I
serious.
drink to
90% of us
that.
have a.
I drink to that.
We've
I drink to that, Tony.
been duped out of our
I
property.
drink to that, Tony.
From the
Drink to
north
it.
end is becoming the
Terry,
west
drink to
end.
it. Terry, drink
We've
to it.
been we
LaDonna,
got
drink
such
to
a
that.
slave mentality.
Yes.
We do
Yes. I'll
not. I'm
drink
not
to it.
saying us, but some of us.
I'm telling you what I see
90% of us.
How
have
is it you have an
And you can control a city that
overwhelming
you.
population and even your black business suffers?
But see, nobody want to hear the truth about it. They don't,
well, you
and it's
know,
okay. It's okay.
me,
Nobody
I
have
don't
to
know.
agree with it, but
Me,
it's the
I know
truth.
me, Terry Perry, gonna say it. That's why we be on the
It's
round table.
90%. If you line up 100 of us, 90 of us got a chain on. So
A chain or a shackle.
a chain or a shackle.
Well, guys,
Some
let me tell
kind
you
of
what's
way.
let me tell you what's going on. What we got going on
I'm a
next Sunday.
revolutionary.
Me
I
too.
am a revolutionary.
That's why y'all.
Wait a minute. I got up at the NAACP banquet and said it. I thought everybody was gonna run out.
Man,
Well, that was a nice. That was a really nice. That was really nice.
What?
That was,
What? Why?
Yeah.
That should have been like, I'm home.
I'm just playing. I mean, but honestly,
That was a nice. That was a nice engagement.
I
You
heard
got to
very,
think
I
we're
heard you
losing a
did
lot
very
of
well,
stuff
sis.
as a black
Congratulations.
community in Beaumont.
thank
We're
you,
losing
bro.
a lot.
Thank you.
Most
A
definitely.
lot.
Yeah.
But
Hey, listen, we've got also next Sunday, we've got our first candidate. Let me find it on my calendar here. I think I texted guys to you. Our first candidate is going to be, where is it? Oh, our next Sunday at 7 o'clock here on Knowledge is Power Podcast.
Hey man, okay, look, let me tell you something. Don't be bringing these Rudy Poo candidates and thinking that we not gonna hit them, man.
We're not we're going to go right at it like we always do. We're not
telling you.
going to sugarcoat. We're not sugarcoating
And,
anything.
and you better let them know you coming on the Knowledge is Power podcast, and
We're getting you
please
ready.
set them up for a first Thursday.
That's
Or just
right.
call a round table, and we'll definitely scoot them up a chair.
All right. Well, next Sunday at 7 o'clock, we're going to have candidate Lisa C. Weber. She's a candidate of the Texas State House representation, representative 22.
Yes,
So,
I know Lisa Weber,
District
very
22.
educated queen.
Yes. She's going to be with us
man.
on Sunday, this coming Sunday at 7 o'clock.
Yes.
Yeah. So also, I had a tentative a guest on Tuesday. I'm waiting to get a feedback because since again my social media has been out of order for 3 weeks. I had this lined up 4 weeks ago, but it's going to be Andrea Hunter. My brother's keeper. She's going to be joining us hopefully on Tuesday. But we're going to fill in and book up everything in January and February. But remember, guys, next week is I guess it's Martin Luther King Day.
Yep, my mama and them anniversary.
Yeah, okay, great. You had to have 10th anniversary. You know, see, they're a little different.
Happy anniversary. How many years? Maybe they can help out some poor souls like myself.
First, you make number 4.
Marriage is easy.
Shut up, Tony. Don't start that.
Marriage is an easy thing to have.
Don't feel bad. I call my husband when I introduce him to people. I'm like, this is my next ex-husband.
Wow.
He hates it.
Wow.
How many
Well,
years?
here's the thing though. But here's the thing though.
How many years?
They say after 21
We've been together
days.
10 years. But he's number 2.
Yeah. But here's the deal. I mean, just think of simple life. They say anything after 21 days is a habit. So anytime after you done been with him, you just repeating the goddamn habit.
You're not wrong.
Hey man, I know some people that have the same habit.
Look, I'm very honest. I tell people I've been married 34 years. I'm like, man, we get divorced. Man, I'm going to either marry somebody that's going to look like her, act like her. Why? Why?
Yep.
No,
A
I
fiend.
think I did I did everything under the sun. I think. But anyway, Chris, how many years your family's been together? Your parents been together?
I want to say 17 years.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
I
That's
y'all don't
wonderful.
listen to me. Don't listen to me.
That's wonderful.
Y'all,
That's
y'all get rid
wonderful.
of them quick.
I know. I
Send me the
know.
Wow.
paperwork.
I know.
Hey, but I did want to add this one on. I've been reading the book, and I would love to encourage you all to read this book. This is
Come on,
called.
shameless plug.
No, it's not my book, but it's called
Oh, okay.
"This Is How They Tell Me the World Ends."
Mm.
And one of the phrases is in here, and the reason why I was mentioning it is the guy says, if you know anything about technology, software, and hacking, it's a thing called 0 day. And
Yeah.
and 0 days mean that once someone finds out how to at least I won't say sabotage, but at least infiltrate your system, then that means that you have 0 days to defend it.
Yeah.
Because it's over with. But one of the things that the guy said in here was that knowledge is power only if you know how to use it.
You know how to wield it.
So
You
just
gotta know
because
how to
you
wield
know
it.
it doesn't mean that you have power. Knowledge is power if you know how to use it.
Well,
Hey, I remember
you already
my
know. That's what I say. Knowledge is power, but knowledge in action is powerful. It's only you can't. It don't become useful until you act
right,
on.
right. I
Mm-hmm.
remember my principal at Ogden. His name was Mr. Mills. Every morning
Oh, I remember Mr. Mills.
he would end his announcements. Knowledge is power. Power is success and independence.
Yeah.
Well, that's what
And
we have here.
and in order to have success, you have to put it, like LaDonna said, like Perry said, you have to put it to work. You have to put it to action.
Yeah.
Especially if you seek for independence.
Yeah.
Because that's something that they can't ever take from you is your knowledge,
Yeah.
your wisdom and understanding of anything that you set your fingers in and your mind to. I don't care how many days the world changed. Especially if you read it, everything else is pretty much gleaned from the eye. You're gonna learn it from then on.
Mm-hmm.
Well, guys, I think
Yeah.
our time is up, but I want to also again go over one more time our new giveaway that we're going to be announcing starting this week. That we're going to be giving away prizes on our show, and I'm going to add it to our deal here. Can I add it here? There we go. I've added here how we do it. We're gonna, if you comment, make a comment on our comment. We're gonna have a hashtag and a name on the hashtag. If you go in our comment box and place your hashtag, paste the hashtag, the assigned hashtag, and the name that we assign to this particular show. At the end of the show, we'll have a huge drawing, and I've got it on the screen here. How are we going to do it? So right now we have four entries. These are the people. This is a test run. So when we get ready to end our show, we're going to end our show with this on the screen, and we're going to be drawing for either debit cards, gift cards, shirt caps, hats, mugs, coffee mugs, water mugs, whatever. We're going to
Whatever we
try to
get
give away.
donated to us
Yeah,
to
we got
donate.
yeah. We need that so we can. Yeah, right. That's true. And we get some donations and we can give it away on each show.
Yeah, man.
So
There's
this
too
how
many
it's done at the
businesses
end.
out here.
Right. So we can advertise for their business and they'll be advertising for us as well.
Correct.
Yes.
No pink, no pink all stars with yellow, souls, right?
So at the end, so at the end of the show, we'll take this drawing and it's gonna work just like that. And that's how it's gonna work. There we go.
Oh, okay, so it's gonna go through and select the
All
winner.
right, and that's who will be the winner, whoever this
Okay,
is.
okay,
That's
okay.
some kind of Russian name, huh?
Yeah,
Man, you'd have been hacked again.
You'd have been hacked again. That's what that says.
Look, bye.
That say, I got you.
I'm gone.
Wow.
Anyway, guys, that's how that's how it's gonna work. And,
you've been infiltrated.
Yeah. Lord have mercy.
Trump supporter all along.
Y'all some fools. So wait a minute. I lost what did I lose? Somebody go. Wait a minute.
All right, Igor.
We all better check our stuff after we get off here.
All right, guys. We're gonna run. Our time is up. But listen, that was a lot of fun having you guys. We got to build this page back up again because of the of my start on the weekend. But it'll get there.
I'll share it. Yeah. I'll share it on my platforms.
All right. So we'll see you guys on Tuesday. And also make sure you're here on Sunday at 7:00 with our guest, C. Weber. Did I call her name right?
Lisa Weber.
Yeah, Lisa Weber, candidate for District 22 state representative. So we've got three candidates in that race.
Who's running for it? Who's running?
We've
Lisa,
got
Joe and
Joseph Trahan, Christian Manuel, and Lisa Weber.
Right, so we got three in there.
And that's Joe Desautel's old.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Trahan decided he gonna run for it.
He stepped down from the Democrat Party chair of Jefferson County so that he could run for that seat.
Yeah.
We definitely need somebody with experience.
But y'all,
it's crucial right
hear
now.
me out, people. This is the primary. You will have another somebody on the.
That's what I said. We just need to get through this portion, and then we'll get together with.
But here's my point, and I do want to close with this. If this is about strategy, and we say that this is about chess, then damn it, I need my pawns to know that they pawns and not bishops. I need my rooks to understand that they not, knights. I mean,
yep.
This is the bull that we got to overcome, because how we gonna put a team together if you saw that when Shaq. They laughed about it. Shaq, you can't be a point guard. I don't care if you can dribble through your legs and dunk. And we got to let our pawns know who they are.
Perry
I give you all kind of
titles.
Yeah, and I think that some people that just don't need to run, they just don't need to run at all.
Yes,
like, competition is good, so that's great. That's going to build character. But some people are just in the race that shouldn't be in it all.
People run on their ego. They let their ego take over.
Right, and that's not pointed at anyone. I'm for everybody and against no one.
I'm telling you, it's against a whole bunch of people, because when you come on here, whether I'm on the show or not, I'm gonna be in the comments, and I'm definitely going, because again, I refuse in 2022, to repeat the same cycle all over the freak again.
And I think that everybody better have their business in order when they come on the show, because we gonna question them.
They better have their shit together. You better have y'all shit together.
I'm through with it. I'm through playing with it.
I don't want to hear, these pipe dreams and all this other. No, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that.
Stop electing the wrong people.
It's going to be fundamentals, because this is a state race. This is a national race. So it's going to be fundamentals. It's going to be real legislation that we're going to discuss. Whether or not you can push some legislation or you can restrict some legislation. You need to know
your own legislation.
Correct.
Right.
Because I got a binder ready for somebody just to drop it in their lap.
Yeah.
And
I always
it's not necessarily just for this particular one race, because again, I'm gonna say, low county elections too. They coming. They
I
coming.
Yeah.
always
Hello,
wondered,
they coming.
I always wondered, one of the person to tell me, what did you do before you decided to run for what you're running for? You know, what
Well,
have you
here,
done
And I
before?
think that
well,
sometimes
here,
what you did before you decided to run have nothing to really do with what your skill set is. If we want
Correct.
to know what you did before don't matter. Tell me what you plan on to do
It
right now
matters
and
to me.
forward.
okay, you're
It matters
right.
to me.
But
All I want to
here's
know is
one
what
thing though I
access you
do
gonna
want to
give.
ask. And here's one thing that I do want to ask, because I know we about to get on ass here about it. We have a group here called the Black Elected Officials. I mean, Alcee Hastings started it as a way to get all Black elected officials to come together to talk. Once Alcee got sick, they didn't do that anymore. And I'm saying, for our leaders, how you gonna lead and you don't come together?
How you gonna lead us and you ain't
And
even around us?
you right. What you're not even amongst yourselves to strategize amongst yourselves.
You don't even send us a plan. Give us a 5, 10, 15, 20, 35,
And this
40
goes
year
across
plan or
the
something.
board. This goes across the board. No one should be saying you guys need to meet. You mean after all these years, you guys never thought, look, man, we need to meet. We need to come up with a strategy. We need to do something. This ain't got nothing. This has nothing to do with friendship. It's
Nothing.
trifling. It's
Nothing.
trifling.
And I be trying to tell them, I'm not voting for you because you my friend. But I'm not voting for you because you can't convey to me whether or not I'm gonna still have access. This is
Them
Right. And
boys
these are the
planned
things
up.
that
Them boys planned up to the minute.
this is the thing
January 6th.
that's what I'm
We
saying.
can't even plan. Only thing we want to plan is the goddamn Hebert Charlton Pollard reunion.
all right, y'all. Y'all have a good night. God bless.
Yeah, because we about to get into something totally different. When you talking
He
about
about to
people
get
running
us
for
Call
office,
it.
all
baby,
our
I
Call
can
it
go
for
on
what
and
it
on and on.
is. Call it for what it
I'm
is.
correct.
constantly
You're
telling
absolutely
people
correct.
we cannot look in the rear view. We have got to look forward.
We
I'm trying to
can.
press
Amen.
forward
Amen.
to the higher calling. Okay. What is behind me, look,
You can't
we
see
got
what's in front of you if you're looking behind you all the time.
baby,
Correct.
look, I got to know what you want to do going
That's why
forward.
your rearview mirror small.
Right.
Hey,
Real
also,
though. I mean,
also,
I feel like we have got to press these candidates on what their intentions are. Don't tell me, me, and I have friends that are running in these races. A lot of these people are my friends.
I
I
like all
don't
three
care
of them.
I
Um,
don't care what you've been doing. Let's talk
right.
about what you are going to do, and then
Correct.
how can I make you accountable? Because whether I'm your friend or not, I still want you to be accountable for what you did, what you said you're gonna do.
Right. And
Let's do that.
again, with that being said, I want people to understand that if those individuals do not come through on what they said or and the promise to give in a campaign, guess what? You don't have to wait for the next election. Texas has what is called the recall
Yep.
process. Recall these son of a bitches. Excuse me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Recall these elected
Amen.
officials instead of waiting 4 to 6 years for them to get out for somebody else to
Hold
be
them
on the
accountable.
ballot.
Hold
They've
them
got to be held
accountable.
accountable.
Have them come sit their ass down with the rest of us until somebody
Right. Right.
efficient and effective is in this seat.
Right.
We
Y'all
we
give
giving
no
away too
reports.
many liberties as it
Yeah.
is because now the requirement for particular seats means you got to be educated. And here it is the individuals that wrote the Constitution of the United States of America, the individuals that wrote the Constitution of Texas, some individuals that wrote the city charter was not even fucking educated.
Nope.
That's what
Nope.
needs
But
to
now
be
there's a
rewritten.
requirement. Thank you, Republicans.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Just like Perry said, there is a move to say we're going to remove all individuals that claim they want to run for public office. And most of us claim we want to run for public office and don't have according to them, you don't have the education for it. So if you want to be a judge, you better go to law school. If you want to be a city councilman, you better go to civil engineering school or something. You better take some type of civics class or something.
Nah, and we gonna put Steve Harvey in your face and let him know that you can be a judge if you just got to. Ain't that some bull? Yeah.
Man, then look, I'm gonna go as far as to say, even when you have the education, sometimes they've been so fucking bamboozled and buffooned, they don't even know, they can't see the education from the non-education because they got sparkling glitter on them. They dust it over with gold dust, fairy dust.
A college education is just a piece of paper, just like a driver's license. Just because you have a driver's license doesn't mean you can drive. Just because you've got a college education doesn't mean you know anything.
Right. But I'll tell you this: I was listening to Sirius XM on my way in, and one of the guys on whatever the hip hop channel was, they was doing their 40 show. He was talking about the Emmett Till story, and he admitted that he didn't know very much about the Emmett Till story.
Wow.
And you know, and it says a lot because we keep assuming that our kids understand and that some adults understand. Y'all, I'm like Carter G. Woodson. It's the miseducation of the Negro.
And he had an angle. Golly, man.
You know. But this is, y'all, this is something serious because the forces against us are steady planning.
And they always, you have to understand, either you being planned for or you being planned against.
Yeah.
A lot of us out here are being played.
Yeah.
Played against.
And
played
in
for,
Beaumont, we've been played.
Playing for or playing against.
They're moving us all out of the north end to the west end to where we think we done moved on up.
I mean, they doing
and
that
we're really
even
moving
for,
on down.
They doing that even for the people in South Park because of gentrification.
They're emptying it out.
That area is about to be get so hard with gentrification till it's not even funny.
We've been played by people that look like us.
I'm trying to tell you that area, the north end, south end, and I live in the south end.
It's
I'm
gone,
looking
Chris.
at the gentrification happening right in front of my face.
It's gone. And they moving us all out here to the west end. They made it. They made it. And you made it all right.
What we failing to realize and understand is once you move out there, this area that you left behind is going to be the most high-end spot
in Texas.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
It's coming. It's coming.
I'm telling you.
I've been saying that about 10 years now.
Like, I don't get me wrong. There's some stupid stuff they talking about at city council. You know what I'm saying?
All that ain't gonna even matter.
Especially for on the west side of the interstate. That's what I call it, the west side of the interstate. Just so people won't be like, "Oh, you was talking about my ward." No, I'm not. I'm talking about the west side of the interstate. So
they're not even really worried about that spot down.
I mean, like some people, they have, but you have to understand, Ted, like, you have some individuals, some elected individuals, especially in on city council, that have an ulterior motive. They will say that we need this, that, and the other on that side of the city because we don't have it. But the whole time you've deprived the east side of the city, and I'm gonna say that because majority of the deprivation happens on the east side of the city, and I'm not talking about a particular ward or anything like that.
It's the east.
So yeah, it's the east side of the city that gets that has the most deprivation, that has seen the intentional neglect, that has seen individuals like undermine the miseducation of individuals here.
mentalities.
to a point to where they'll tell you, oh, well, this area isn't safe to live in because it floods. And the whole time, years before the flooding started, they started installing canals and all this other stuff back there that allegedly was going to alleviate flooding that was never already in the area. But now that y'all
Right.
have canals in the area, you see flooding.
That's
You
that's
have to you have to pay attention to how
Right.
Beaumont has moved, shifted, and shaved. And I mean, like the pride again. I'm gonna keep saying the pride because deprivation is the largest thing that I've seen happen to people that live, people, businesses, and entities that are on the east side of the city have been misconstrued and misguided for a long time, and have been led to believe that where they live is not valuable.
it's like the West End didn't flood until it became 40% black. Like now it's 40% black and it floods. So figure that.
Well, I remember one time, and like again, that y'all have to understand, I moved here in '89, so I'm not like a Beaumont native, but I remember at one time, um, when I was visiting Beaumont, there were certain portions of the West Side that was inhabited. Non-inhabited. It was
Hmm.
nothing but
Mm-hmm.
fields or
Yeah, that's a
cattle
million
land or whatever it was. You know what
cornfields.
I'm saying? Overgrown lots, and it
Yeah.
was trees as far as the eye could see. The area where Walmart sits right now was nothing but
Yep.
trees. The area where the apartments is behind Parkdale Mall was nothing but trees. There was no road, no street, no none of that. Walden Road, who?
Right.
Darling Road, what? Folsom where?
Yeah.
It ended at, you know what I'm saying? So like a lot of that came about like afterwards. So it was nothing but flood waters back there because
Hmm.
there was no real proper drainage. So again, I'm gonna say them canals started popping up.
Hmm.
Canals started popping up allegedly to alleviate the flooding from the north end, and individuals, residents, businesses were never seeing flooding happening in the north end, but we're seeing it. Like everywhere on the west side of the interstate, Fournette included. I remember shit. I think I was in middle school, and the trailers in some trailer homes in Fournette, the people was sitting on top of their trailer home, man, a double wide, because of how much water had accumulated back there. Now you see Russian water that flows through the same canals that was allegedly due to alleviate flooding in the north end, and they Russian water meaning something being pumped. That's
Yeah.
not just regular running flowing water. That means water is being pumped on residents. And the crazy part about it is off of Lucas and Wilson, especially back there behind in that little neighborhood, Cleveland, back there in the tuck where they put that canal
Hmm.
back there. Yeah,
Hmm.
you see all that back there. You see the choppy waters flowing back there,
They're
and
pushing
I'm
it
not.
through there.
They pushing it, and like
Yep.
the crazy part about it is, like once you pushed it so much, and it reaches. It's like it reaches another wall of water, so it's gonna slow down at the end, which then makes the pine flood like it
But
floods
nobody
because
Right.
questioning it though.
And
Nobody
which way is
questioning it.
that? Which way is that water flowing?
From east to west.
southeast,
How water
southeast.
flow? How water flow east to west?
It
I'll
don't.
be trying to figure that
It
out,
don't.
especially coming from
It's
east.
supposed to be
You know
north
what
to
I'm
south.
saying? I thought it was supposed to be going south, unless we sitting
Yes.
upside down, south
Supposed to
ain't
be
really
going
south.
south.
How water
I'm just
flowing that
saying.
strong going east to west?
I'm just saying.
Huh. Yeah.
And what people don't understand is like the whole time all of that's happening, you seeing these little canals and ditches that they built overflowing and overfilling, but you never hear nothing about how dangerous Valley Authority is, the Little Nature's Valley
Little
Authority
Nature's.
is, especially with the amount of water that they.
Oh, baby, I don't flood over here by the Lord Nature Valley.
I
Don't
know
you
you don't. You know why?
If
Because
you do, something wrong.
I was about to say, you know why? Because if you do, the lawsuit is grand for that. For that.
Yes. Yes.
The lawsuit for that is grand, but the lawsuit for the city, that the state of Texas removed that liability
Yeah, you can't do
from the
that. You
city
can't
of
sue
Beaumont.
them. So,
And
okay.
District Drainage 6,
Yeah.
who
You can make them
needs to
pay for
be
your
held.
damages,
Yeah,
but
I
you
mean,
can't
like
sue them.
they can
So,
be held liable for punitive. I mean, like
yeah.
property damages,
But that's it.
especially if you go a year or two going through fighting back and forward through
11
email, phone
years.
call, and yeah.
11 years.
So that shit is redundant.
And they
Say
finally
that.
doing something now.
I
It's a
don't
lot
know.
of
I
class
mean, I
actions
know
that
that
need to
our
happen
time is far
between here
spent, but I
and Port
will say
Arthur.
this. I will
It's just
say this. That L&B Canal, I live right next to it, and I have never in the whole time. I mean, on one side of it do. So I don't know what the split up or why they got it split the way they got it. But I know one thing. On this side where I'm at, shit, they ain't gonna have no water back here. Ain't gonna be a drop of water, ain't never flooded.
Right.
I
Because
need to move.
they open the gates in the north end and it floods the entire river
Yes.
again up
Okay,
it
you might be
floods that
right,
up
because all I
Pine
know
Street.
is, baby,
Oh no, I'm telling you where it's happening.
what
Yeah.
side I'm on.
I'm
I be
telling you what
looking,
that
and I
is.
be driving
Especially
around.
down Bigner, like
I,
anywhere
by my
down
house,
Bigner,
it will flood,
Christopher.
but not
Yeah,
just
all them
in this
streets.
particular area.
Yeah,
Like,
the
I could go
saltwater
a few
barrier.
ways, and you're right. I seen some water flowing
I'm trying
across
to
the
tell
street
you. I'm
down. I
trying to
mean, like
tell you.
flowing,
Mm, mm.
like
So it's
flowing.
being
They will open
pushed.
that floodgate before they let that flood
I have
anybody. And
seen
then
water like
they
flowing
have to
across
do
the street, but just
embankment
not my way, another
restorations
way.
too.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, so they'll never let it flood on Big.
No.
No.
They will
That's
never
too
let
much
it
money that
flood
they can
out the
lose.
residents, but they'll flood out Bigner Road.
Oh, yeah.
They'll flood out
Yeah.
Bigner Road before they let it flood out the residents. And
Yep.
that pump that they have back there,
Yeah.
that tower that they have back there on Plant Road, yeah, it's a lot of little
Yeah.
floodgates, and that
Yeah,
system is
I'm back
very
up in there. I'm
strategic.
back up in there.
Yeah, that's strategic, very strategic to
Yeah.
flood out. Like I said, either the saltwater barrier, flood the lower portions of Pine. Uh, yeah, they'll push
Maybe
it.
Yeah.
you're right. I think maybe you're right.
I'm telling you what, I be watching. I be paying
Well,
attention, man.
I enjoy your company. But we passed our time. We've been on here about an hour and a half, and I
Yeah.
usually like to keep this thing down to about 30 minutes. But y'all talking to talk. But I know it's been 3 weeks since we've been on the air.
Yeah.
Hey
Yeah.
man, we
Yeah.
ain't seen each other all year, man.
Hey
I'm
man, I'm
telling
telling
you.
you.
I'm telling you.
But
Last time I seen Tony, I had a good laugh with him. I think he remember what he said too. So
I enjoyed y'all. I enjoyed
Terry in
y'all.
the
We had a
mall.
good night.
all
Yeah,
right.
absolutely.
where you
It's
going, Miss
always good
Lady?
to see y'all.
Look
Talk
like
with y'all later.
the Lion Queen.
So Robbie.
Hey guys, I enjoyed the company,
Alrighty.
and we'll talk next week when we see you back here on Analysis Power. And from that time, we're gonna run and get some sweet eye, get ready for Monday, and hopefully we will be here Tuesday and Sunday. Okay, thanks guys.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching Knowledge is Power Podcast Live. Be sure to like and subscribe to all Knowledge is Power social media pages.